Hey everybody, welcome to a video for you guys. I've done rankings before and I've seen people do this use the tier to rank stuff. So I'm gonna try it. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Okay, so this is gonna be Star Trek The Next Generation episodes ranking, season one. So here we go. Very good, good, eh, meh, bad, and horrible. I think I want to say I could say I'm going to say bad or sad. There we go. I say bad or sad. Okay, so this is season one of the Next Generation. Okay, let's start from the beginning. We have encounter our Farpoint, right? My opinion is that, of course, it is the pilot episode. I think it was two-part episode, two-part pilot. And my opinion was that it was a corny. The first word that comes to mind was corny. Corny, corny. So I'm gonna put it in eh. I don't want to say it's bad because it's a pilot episode. It introduces the characters, but unfortunately the dialogue was pretty poor. Having Q come in and do um speak in old English, old King James English. Um, that made it corny, and unfortunately, I should say fortunately. Sorry about that. I'll edit it. Sorry about that. Um, so yeah, fair. Point was an eh. It wasn't bad. It's not horrible. It's just an eh episode, despite it being a pilot episode. The Naked Now, I think this is the next one, was all I would also put that in the eh. It's not bad, it's not good. Um, you know what? Actually, let me take that back. I'll put it in the bad one because it was very it was too sexual in that one, unfortunately. There was and it's kind of it's an homage uh to an old original series episode along the same title. What episode? Oh, it's episode three, third episode. Oh yeah, because well, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I would say it's bad. It's too sexual. The worst, and this is the worst episode ever What? Oh, the Naked Time was that the yeah, it's the Naked Now is like an homage to the Naked Time um episode from the original series. That's what it is. The next one is Honor. I think it's called Honor. I'm sorry. Code of Honor. There we go. Code of Honor is labeled by a lot of people as the worst episode and the most racist episode is Code of Honor. So it's not a very good movie. It's not a very good episode. It centers around if you know Star Trek Next Generation very well, it centers around um, a planet that is ruled by black people. If you know that episode, so way down, way way down. The next one is The Last Outpost. I would say this is a good episode because it introduces the Ferengi. Now, bear in mind, the Ferengi was featured in Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise, and they're speaking a different language, if if I remember correctly. But we introduced to the Ferengi, who are the I don't know if this is accurate to say this. They they're greedy, they're very greedy. It's all about money. It's like the prosperity gospel preachers, but a little more conservative. A little more conservative, the Ferengi are, but they're very much about money. Very much about money. But I would say this is good for a couple of reasons. The crew starts getting better. The dialogue is getting better. The stories are getting better. The plots are getting better. Um, is it a very good episode? Mm, no, but there's some humor in there. There is some humor in those episodes where no one has gone before. This introduces us to the Traveler, where um, the Enterprise goes beyond the solar system. I think toward no, that's not the that's nth degree, but they're going beyond the galaxy, and in this portion of the galaxy of the universe, things start appearing out of thin air, like a a a, a pet from a pet cat or a pet Targ for Mr. Worf, as an example. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting. But when I say this is a good episode, I would say this is a little hard, but I'm gonna say on this one. The next one is Lonely Among Us. I would say this is another sort of racist episode. Not as racist as the last episode. But this one has the Selene and the you get the Selene and the Antikins. And it's interesting that Mark Alamo, who plays Gul Dukat in Deep Space Nine, he's featured in this episode. Oh, or he's playing a character. The Antikins, the Soleil, not the Solanae, the Soleil and the Antikins. So I would say it sounds like a good episode. I'm not sure if it's as bad or sad. I'm not sure. This was a hard one. Lonely Among Us. I'm gonna put it in an eh, to be honest with you. Next one is Justice. This one's a better one, because it has to deal with um the crew goes to a planet, sort of like a pleasure planet, not Risa, but similar to Risa. And they have a certain say they have certain rules on this planet, and then they have orbiting uh transparent uh sh not a ship, but like an outpost. And the people on the planet consider that vessel God for all intents and purposes. Very interesting. Is it a good episode because Picard saves the life of Wesley Crusher, Will Wheaton? I would say honestly, this is a good episode. I wouldn't say it's an episode. It's a good one. How about the battle? On I like the battle. We're reintroduced to the Ferengi, and the Ferengi bring back Picard's old ship, the Stargazer. The Stargazer. And Damon Bach has this big pink round machine that he uses to as a like a mind. It's not mind control, but it's able to touch Picard in a way that has Picard getting headaches. It's a sensory device as that the Ferengi had, and it's like Bach is getting revenge on Picard because apparently the ship, the unidentified ship that the Stargazer destroyed 22 years ago, 22 years before this episode, was Ferengi, and the captain of that Ferengi ship was Damon Bach's son. Okay. Would this be a good episode or a very good episode? I would say, to be honest with you, this may be a very good episode. My opinion. It's a very good episode. How about next one is Hyde and Q. Q comes back, and John Delancey does a lot better in this one than the first, where Q gives Commander Riker Q powers, godlike powers. And Q is and Riker with Q powers grants um the crew wishes almost. But what's interesting is that the crew members of the Enterprise are able to resist temptation. And to me, it's a very good episode on learning how to resist temptation. So I would say this is a very good episode. Now, you guys may not agree, and that's okay. That's okay. The Big Goodbye, this one, oh, that's a Big Goodbye. What's this one? Oh, is that Hate? No, that's which one's that one? Can't really read that. Let's see. Um, oh, here we go. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Haven. Where is Haven? Sean David. Give me a minute here, folks. Making okay, so hide and Q. Hide and Q. Okay, so Haven is after hide and Q. Okay. Is this one? I would say for this one, the Haven, it, I would say it's bad. It's about this guy who has dreams about this woman. He draws pictures and he thinks the woman he's looking for, the woman of his dreams, is Deanna Troy. But apparently, it's actually somebody else. Is this a bad episode? I would say, how about boring? Bad, sad, bad, sad, and boring. I would say, yeah, that's a bad. That's a under the boring. Right, and oops, yeah, there we go. There, I would say this is a boring one, to be honest with you. Now, this next episode is called The Big Goodbye, where we are introduced to the holodeck. Oh, no, actually, we used a holodeck before. We used a holodeck in Haven. But this I would say The Big Goodbye is one of the best episodes of the season. So I would say this is very good because it introduced not to the holodeck, my apologies. It introduces us to Picard's favorite detective, Dixon Hill, and Data and Brent Spiner has a very good role in this. And it starts Star Trek is starting to get a little more comedic in this episode, and it has to do with Cyrus Redlock and whether holographic bullets can kill. Um, it's a very good episode. It got some good one-liners in there. Brent Spiner had some good one-liners in this episode. So yes, I would say this is a very good episode. It's a bit goodbye. Now this is where Brent Spiner gets his medals, acting medals for me, is Data Lore, where Brent Spiner plays two different characters. In other episodes in later seasons, of course, he's playing three different characters at the same time. And that's the episode called Brothers, where Lore comes back. Spoiler alert. Lore comes back, and they are summoned by their dad, Dr. Noonien Soon. Dr. Noonien Soon. So I would say Data Lore is this one, these two are two of the best episodes episodes of the entire season. I would say, can I wonder if I can add a rowboat. There we go. Add a okay. Funniest. I would say this is the funniest. The funniest one. And I would put this uh, here. Actually, up there. There we go. Um, Angel One Would Angel One be a bad episode? Would this be a sexist episode as much as Code of Honor was the most racist episode? Angel One, would that be considered a sexist episode? Probably is. Probably is. Um, I'm gonna put this as, I would say, horrible. No, but it's a top for me. This is a toss up between horrible and bad. Horrible and bad. There's 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 1. I would put this in a very boring, in the boring section, honestly. I would put this in the boring section. Too short a season. I would put this in the bad one. Honestly, I would put this in the bad episode. Um, what about when the bow breaks? Hmm. I was saying oops. I will put this. I will put this under sad. Okay. Let me do this. Let me do this. Yeah. I will put this under sad. There we go. Yeah, this one's a sad one. There we go. Um, home soil. What about home soil? Is that a good one? Home soil. This is, I think, because it allows data, well, it allows the crew to protect a new life form that is forming in the deep crevices of a planet's crust, I believe. And it's what do they call, what do they call the enterprise? They call them bags of mostly, what is it, bags of mostly water? Bags of mostly water on soil. What do they call them? Ugly, I think it's ugly bags of mostly water. I think it's ugly bags. Yeah, ugly giant, ugly giant bags of mostly water. Um, I would say this is a good episode. because it's about preserving life. I would say this is a good episode. Let me go back to the list here. Coming of age. Coming of age. Hmm. Let's see, coming. Let me look this up. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Coming of age where Starfleet is investigated. Well, the Enterprise is investigated by Starfleet, and there's two people, Admiral Quinn and Admiral and Commander or Cap Commander Remick come back in another episode, and also in season one. I forget why they're being. Let me look at the plot here. Wesley's taking the exam, or the entrance exam for Starfleet Academy. I'm thinking of another episode called Conspiracy. So I would say that this coming of age one is oh, I would say this is under like okay. This is Heart of Glory, and I would say is my first favorite because first of all, it involves Klingons, and we really dive into the character of Worf a lot more, a little more, not a lot more, a little more, where Worf gives his background, how he was orphaned at age 6. He was orphaned when the Romulans attacked the Kittimer outpost. So I would say this is a very good episode. Very good episode. The the Arsenal of Freedom is this next one. And this is one of the first episodes I watched when it was under syndication. And my dad recorded this certain episodes back in the day, back in the day, 90s, early, early 90s. This is one of the first ones I saw. And today I would call it, I won't put it under the category. I really would. Symbiosis, about drug addiction. I would say this might be good. Hmm. It might be good, but because it teaches us, it really teaches us about drug addiction. And back in the 90s, we had the DARE program in school. And of course, whatever drug is featured, it's like the heroin of today. It's like the today's drug heroin, or nowadays it's fentanyl. So whatever drug was used in this episode, it will be the equivalent really of today's heroin or today's fentanyl. So I would say I would put that Symbiosis as a good episode. I have to watch it again, but I think this will be a good episode. Now this one is the saddest episode of all. Um, Skin of Evil, because it's not horrible. It's only one episode that's horrible. Um, because it's sad though, because we lose a character. The producers were wanting to kill off the character of Natasha Yard, Denise Crosby. And it did it in a way that honestly almost no one liked. No one liked. And unfortunately, it led to two things. Um, well, after this episode, it led to okay, let me repeat that. Let me rephrase it. It led to a very good thing to where Worf, Michael Dorn, is made chief of security. But to be made chief of security because your chief of security was killed by Armus, very sad. So I would put that in the sad tier, in the sad category here. This one is will always have Paris. I would say this is a boring one. It boring at the beginning, but it's okay because Data has to save the ship. But I would say this would be a bad slash boring one. Conspiracy is a very good episode, and it ends on an ugly note. If you can see the still image here of being uh, Remick and Admiral Quinn being uh, controlled by an alien species. And it's pretty gruesome at the very end, as you see in the still image there. Now, the funniest episode, and it's the last episode of the season, is Conspiracy. The Neutral Zone, excuse me. The Neutral Zone. It's funny because we get these people who are in this cryotube and they're reawakened like 300 years in the future. And we get a guy who's a finance guy. We get a lady who was into cryogenics, and then we got this honky tonk guitar player, Southern dude, and the actor plays in a couple of other movies. One of them being the Gridiron Gang with Dwayne Johnson. But a lot of the lines in this movie done. I think get the guy. What's the guy's name? Maybe we got Leon Rippey. Yeah, Leon Rippey, Gracie Harrison. These are the actors. Gracie Harrison, and Peter Mark Richmond. Offenhouse, Raymond, Miss Raymond, and Mr. Sonny Clemens. Sonny Clemens was funny in this episode. Offenhouse was pretty good. I liked his character. The only thing that I had a problem with is Anthony James. And I've said this before when I ranked the first episode before. The way that Mr. Anthony James spoke, the dialogue, was very annoyingly monotone. Monotone. And to be honest with you, I don't think it fit the episode. It did not fit the episode. But it introduced us to the return of the Romulans. The Romulans were introduced back in the original series. And they come back in the next generation. Marc Alaimo plays a Romulan. Marc Alaimo later plays a Cardassian before Gul Dukat, and then he plays Gul Dukat. He plays Gul Dukat in an episode called The Wounded, and then he plays Gul Dukat in Deep Space Nine. I like Marc Alaimo a lot. He's a very good actor. He's very sinister in how he plays his characters, especially in Star Trek. So, but Anthony James, it doesn't fit. The monotone voice does not fit the character. It does not fit the episode. To me, it brought it down, to be honest with you. So this is my listing of the very good. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes which are very good. One was the funniest. I got 4 good ones. I got 5 ones. I got 1, 2, 3, 6 bad or boring ones. I got 2 sad ones, and of course, Code of Honors listed as the most racist episode, and that's why it is down at the horrible section. Only one, and that's okay. So, if you like, I hope you liked my ranking. It may not be the same for you. There may be more episodes you liked more or less than me. So I hope you enjoyed this ranking. And now I'm going to use a tier list from now on. So I hope you all have a great day and a great rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.